But yeah, as we see, My Way, bad RNG here in the Grand Arena for game 1 of this best of 3 series.
Right, Tony immediately jumping the red here, getting a rake stun out, and getting some bleeds out, and yeah, there is the first Seraphim, and I'm really curious if the red can land that big one-shot here in their opener, Galu.
Yes, looks like we're facing Ret Warrior Holy Priest into the Fire Mage Feral. Kasu is asleep. Fintusius forced into the bubble so very, very early, choosing to bubble before the trinket of the Holy Priest, and that's only from the combustion of Tittery. He's going to be able to farm that back before the next bubble, and I mean, there's a win condition right off the back. That's 40 seconds in.
Yeah, and there is the soul shape immediately. Tittery getting away from that red burst as much as possible. Crims is getting swapped to now, though, maybe a little bit of danger, but the Greater Fate is still ready. Serenity is flying out, and he, of course, still has that A-path ready. There's the full Hodge that might net them a trinket. He gets out of that one with a human ratio, so that one is on cooldown for now. Nice Mame Stun on Fintusius. He's dropping low. There's big damage. The Guardian Angel gets actually used and popped. So this red under fire like crazy. Not having a good time because Tony is taking some bites out of him.
Fintusius is dropping very, very low here. Full sheep onto Furlit. He can't get out of that. Another chastise stun onto Fintusius. The bash onto Furlit. Looks like he may be able to recover here, though. And at the same time, they forced the cauterize from Tittery. The counter pressure from bad RNG on that go was quite large, but now they have no defensive cooldowns. No trinket from Furlit onto this clone. Fintusius, he's got the small wings up as they try and get some damage out, but he's going to the bop, and he just drops down in the second combust of Tittery. I want to see Tozhug fearing that opener. I don't want them to force cooldowns of the first combust. You've got so many peels for it. And I want to see Tittery kind of get the crowd control quickly onto the Holy Priest, or at least try to. Should be able to get a really good opener with this. Dragon's Breath onto the healer, Chastise onto 1 DPS, Feral Stun onto the third, and get that crowd control instantly. There should be triple CC from My Way, and it should be at least Tozhug's Trinket to peel out in the opener.
We'll see if that one happens as prophesized by you. But for now, they're just slowly feeling their way in, checking if they can find someone. Tony not getting taken out of stealth, but Fintusius is the first one to get stunned up there with a Maim Cross. You see Dragon's Breath on the healer, as you said, but the follow-up doesn't really come to fruition. There's the combustion from Titari. Fintusius dropping super low. There's the Shield of Vengeance popped as well as the wings, and he manages to stay alive thanks to the Guardian Spirit, and Tony getting swapped to that is very dangerous. There's the bear, and almost a kill on Titari as well. The red warrior damage is crazy right now.
Yeah, this is the problem. If you don't get those goes as FMP, you fall a little bit behind. However, they did force a trinket from Furlit, and realistically, they ended up not using a lot on this wings. Only the trinket from Tittery, not even forcing that cauterize. Fintusius gets the pre-sank onto Furlit, who gets put into the polymorph. However, the pressure is still rolling onto My Way, as Tittery's not really able to get too much done, as they are now focusing him in this matchup.
Fintusius coming in with some solid off-fields, topping himself off there while under pressure. That is gonna help a lot, and Furlit definitely is gonna have a good time here. But the red, once again, under fire. Those feral bleeds, they start ticking like crazy. There's the next Maim Stun. Dragon's Breath on Furlit into the full poly. Counterspell on Toz, apparently. So yeah, get that warrior logged out. Don't let him cast. And we're good to go. My Way staying in the game. Maybe some trouble for them now here.
Yeah, I mean, this was the problem from Tozhug. He needs to hold to that Stormbolt for those Dragon Breaths, so he is able to prevent the go from range when Tittery does the blink. However, hopefully he holds out for now. We get the full stun on the Tittery, gets dispelled instantly. Necro cross control from Furlit there. Full fear onto Crimsy, though. Looks like Tittery might be dropping a little bit low here. Presses the barriers. They rip right through the barriers. War Banner is down offensively. He manages to War Banner the go, but the full sheep lands onto Furlit, and the bubble comes out from Fintusius, and they still have the combustion on the side of My Way.
Yeah, that was a great go by both teams, putting lots of pressure on the red Paladin and the bubble. That is a big gain here in terms of defensives down. Crims didn't quite get the Master Spell to keep the pressure going, and also going for a drink there. We saw Toz jump back into the entry there to stop that priest from regaining his mana. And now, well, Tittery once again under immense pressure. As you mentioned, Gallo, they just want to lock down the mage, want to get those Stormbolts on the Dragon's Breath and keep him from doing too much harm. But there's the Dragon's Breath into full polymorph. Fintusius with a Shield of Vengeance that gets popped immediately. Rage stun on him as well. Big pressure from bad RNG. On bad RNG, the red dropping lower and lower. All fields are there. There's the ice block from Titari. Forced big damage from Fintusius. They are staying alive for the moment. Crims needs to invest his Greater Fate here.
Already dropping a very low here. Will they get the Cauterize? He uses Soul Shape to get away. The Cauterize is procced. Full fear onto Crimsy, choosing to sit that. A bold move as Tittery can escape with that Cauterize sprint. The game is now onto Tittery. Can he get that Combust back before Fintusius and Furlit get their trinkets back? If he gets that Combust, it is a guaranteed win. But Tittery is taking so much damage from bad RNG right now that I don't know if they can do it. Stormbolt onto Crimsy, chooses the human racial out, the pummel onto Tittery. He just cannot get away from this Ret Warrior, but here is the go. Dragon's Breath onto Furlit, gets Warbanned, not able to connect that crowd control onto Furlit as he does fade away, and My Way's go just got completely shut down by bad RNG.
Yeah, really well played by bad RNG. They didn't even trade the parry or the rallying cry from the warrior here, but also Titari's combustion still not quite ready. That's up in 5. He's basically just getting out one more fireball for that to be ready. Tony spreading those bleeds. He is sticking on Fintusius, pre-bearing the damage that he saw coming in there. Furlit getting bashed up. Mind games go. Crims is in there. Barry maims some of Fintusius. Big damage on the red. Big trouble for bad RNG. Can My Way take it home here? Match point for them. The red is dropping lower and lower. Guardian Spirit is invested there as well, and the off-fields are going to keep him alive, but there are the wings. There's the cross damage. There's the turnaround on Titari. He goes into the seat. Get him out. Done. We're going to game 3. Bad RNG. They had some good RNG there.
That was some really, really solid play from both of those teams. I don't think I've ever seen a game where a mage has been so close to proccing their Cauterize without actually proccing it in about 2 or 3 occasions. But as you mentioned, Gello, in that previous match, the key point there, the amount of pressure they were able to put on Titari on his Fire Mage. Game number 3 of this best of 3 series here. We're going in. It's all to play for. The loser drops down to the lower brackets. The winner carries on in the upper brackets. My Way versus bad RNG.
All right. Starting up in just a few seconds. I'm really curious when they are going to start landing the first CCs on a bad RNG, because yeah, I can't imagine the red being very happy caught open field against Fire Mage Feral and just not being able to connect to anyone.
And the main problem last game was they weren't able to connect the Chastise when they got the Dragon's Breath, so Tozhog did end up peeling the opener, so hopefully they can connect that triple 3-2-1 crowd control this time. It's not particularly hard to do if they can get the timing right. So let's see if they can get it. Here it is, the 3-2-1. Dragon's Breath and the Furlit. Not able to get the sheep as Togzag does trinket and stop Tittery on that. Really well done by him. Gets a sheep anyway. The combust pop from Tittery. That is the Shield of Vengeance from Fintusius and the trinket from Furlit. And that's a pretty good opener. But they get the block as well.
Yeah, the Necrolord Warrior up, coming in huge. Titari with a beautiful altar time, bouncing him back from a 1 HP to full, basically, but they still managed to force the ice block afterwards. Grimm's securing his mage there with a beautiful grip during that frosty intermission, but now Holy Priest a little bit of a inline there on the cast. It's unfortunate, but hey, you can deal with it, especially with that Venthyr Soulbind. You reduce the duration on that one, and Furlit has to invest his Greater Fate there to kind of cross over to the pillar and put some pressure on Titari here, who is just sitting in the arms of the warrior for the moment, trying to connect the next polymorphs. Not quite landing. Actually landing on Furlit there, out of camera. Follow-up Cyclone. Maybe they can capitalize on that one.
It seems like they're just trying to stall for now until Tittery gets combustion or his defense is back. Hitting the warrior as he does not have trinket, but here is the go from bad RNG. The Stormbolt onto Crimsy, the Hodge onto Tittery. There's the Cauterize Force, and he just dies straight through the Cauterize. Tony not able to heal any of that.
That was brutal. That seed didn't even have an opportunity to exist. It just got wiped off the face of the earth straight away. That was huge.
Yeah, across you see Stormbolt here on Crims, Hodge on Titari, the Chastise on Tony is just good night for the mage there. Well, bad RNG definitely having it their way right now, and with that moving on through the upper bracket, looking to square up against Method next. Man, I did not expect my way in the lower bracket after round 1. Holy hell. He's gonna have a word with the producers later on to replace that clip in the intro with that one just now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the damage done here, you can see Fintusius there being incredibly potent, doing, you know, so much more damage than everybody else. It's absolutely huge, and you can see on the damage taken there, Tittery taking the most amount of damage realistically. That was their focus.